actually, I mean, there's a couple of ways. One of them is they come through and they put like a seal coat over the whole thing, like black, with a gritty material, then they go back and they paint over the top of that. And, you know, the amount per quart is about somewhere in the range of what we have put away, you know, this year for, but that would only be 1 quart. So we might have to put away more money for, you know, the second one.
Well, we got prices on that material that they put on the quartz. We had that right off the bat. That's all, I think I got that on the file there. I got that through Port City Paint, through the East Coast over there, where they make it. And it's very popular. They just put it on the quartz and like, you know, you get the sticky, you get the smooth, you get whatever you want. Kind of takes the bounce out of it when you need it, and things like that.
Yeah, put tennis courts down as to something.
But it really sounded like it was about $2 grand in the field or something. It wasn't all that bad for material. I was surprised.
It's putting it down.
I'm gonna add sports and shorts for the budget.
Yes. That was pretty successful.
Anything else under fiscal year 2020 budget discussion?
Number one, if you go out to that second pavilion and you stand facing the south, if we were to get in and take out that bunch of just bunch of grub stuff there's only about 3 trees in there of any size at all, probably 12, 14 inches. The rest of it's just junk. Peel that corner out real good, that would put a lot of sunshine on that
And keep
outer
the
building.
mildew down too.
Yeah, it would help. I mean, we were out there the other day with Bob. I stood over there and looked at that. The sun was right up there, and it was just a pile of grub junk that was keeping it from getting to the pavilion. And be nothing wrong with getting that out of there. Yeah, I think it would help a lot.
Yeah, but I put behind tree trimming, then I put.
Yeah, they pull it right out of there and clean it up.
Do you think some kind of lighting, eventually, I think over time, we should add lighting to the pavilions, I think, you think, or no?
Well,
It seems they seem kind of dark. for
Well, but
kids.
if we clean out some of the,
Even the first one though, the north one I called it, seems dark. But
so you don't think that just cleaning them up and getting the trees out would be, I mean, you mean like you would during the day, you turn on lights?
or have them on a timer possibly, or some kind of,
Cause the
switch so
park-
it comes on when it's darker. but-
Well, the park closes at dusk, so,
10 p.m. during the summer
yeah, so
and 8 p.m.
I don't know, like, I just thought I'd throw that out there.
up and down.
It would be very expensive to light that tennis court. Never take
Oh,
big
no,
floodlights.
not
in
the
there.
tennis court, but the pavilions.
Yeah, you could put something there, but I don't know how long it'll last. You know,
Yeah.
until they break them and bust them out of there.
They have ones that are
Well,
designed.
you're
for
just a
purposes.
half a glass empty kind of guy.
What do you think?
You can't go during the day, we ain't gonna go, so.
Do you think that would enhance the,
It might actually cause a more problem, get people hanging out at night.
yeah, I don't know if that's an enhancement. I think what you do is creating activities for them to do while they're picnicking. That's what enhances it.
okay,
Yeah, I'd leave it alone, I wouldn't look into that.
So if it comes back and people want volleyball, then we try to figure out how to squeeze one in there sometime.
Yeah.
Or if there's another activity that would help,
okay.
with the picnics.
So this isn't a budget expenditure, but this is more of an income thing. Sue, you had talked about that we would look into, should the people who use the ball field be paying something nominal?
Yeah.
Not to really make money, but just to kind of keep their accountability up.
Maintenance expenses.
Yeah, maintenance down. And then maybe we should relook at pavilion. You know, this year we just said,
Well, no, we had
Yeah,
talked about.
we had talked about it.
And raising the prices next year.
so I'll,
After we have the water in, yeah.
so income, and I'll put pavilion, rental, and ball field. I mean, I think that it's a tribute to the township that we don't charge a lot. I mean, to me, I don't think that this should be a money-making thing, but I do believe that there is something to be said for, people's value of it and our societies and all that,
the rental agreement next year, that people write down what it is they're reserving it for.
They
Is
do
it
that.
family reunions on there now?
It is on there now.
So you have records and stuff, that you could put together, what it's been rented for in the past and how many times?
And then for
We usually say them to the following year, so we don't have last year's anymore, but all of this summer I'll keep until next year.
And then we would want to know that for how to maybe advertise to new people, or what would we use that information for?
I think to make it, see what people are coming to it for, and what maybe we could do to enhance it. Things like that is-
Okay, anything else on the budget? Sorry, I only have this on, and I actually turned off my ringer, but for some reason, I have that on to show pictures once we went to signage, so I'm sorry about that. Okay, so let's move on to project updates. And I know several of us went out and independently looked at the tennis courts, and it doesn't seem that they filled in all the cracks, and
Well,
didn't feel like they made the cracks level. I don't know that it changed it other than getting the weeds out of it. What are what's
well,
your
they actually
assessment?
said they were never gonna fill in the real fine crack, I mean, the little spider cracks,
No.
because,
Bigger messes.
because
Yeah,
then when you seal coat it or whatever, put the new paint, that would fill the finer cracks in. And, they actually spent quite a while, putting in, some of those were pretty.
Yeah, and the stuff kept sinking and sinking right in, it was like it was an endless thing, it kept going back and forth, and, I don't know, I'm not in that business, but
We
it's
actually,
a lot better than
we
it used to
actually
be.
made
I'll tell
them
you
go
that.
back and redo, several of them, so.
because it seemed like when we were looking at it, that there were, well, we were not talking about the fine cracks either, that there were some cracks they filled in that were smaller than some that they didn't even do.
There were a couple that, looked like they didn't get in again, though. And they were big.
Is there anything they can do, because it looks like the cracks, they weren't really filled in, it's just kind of drooping in there, but they've actually widened the area, it's uneven now, the surface. So instead of the crack being an area that you don't want to hit because it would throw off the ball, now you've got the entire area on either side of the filled crack because it's higher than the surrounding pavement. Are they gonna even that out at all and around the cracks?
The one problem they run into is they couldn't get the equipment in there, so they were doing a secondhand method of doing it.
Huh,
And they did the best they could with what they had to work with,
yeah.
We either had to cut the fence and pull off some posts so they could get in there, or they.
It looks
I
like
think
they
it's
got
better than it was.
Yes.
They really did, that's all they could
What they
do.
did is they brought a portable unit in, and they filled the portable unit from the big machine. And it was just a little walk behind, and it had these little, flat metal things that was what kind of corralled and scraped it, off as level as it is, because when it goes on, it's a lot more raised.
Basically, what we were doing was preserving it from getting any worse,
Worse.
and that's basically what we did, we got it, so it isn't gonna get worse.
I think it's better than it was.
Oh,
It
yeah,
just,
a lot better.
it just, I was like you, I didn't know if there was any follow-up work that they were going to be doing.
Yeah. Are they gonna do any further cleanup on there or refilling
Not that I know,
cracks or anything?
not that I know. But, by filling the cracks, it keeps it from getting worse, the moisture is down there, it's gonna freeze up the crack, and you're gonna have big chunks missing out of the place, and that's worse yet, so. I think they did the best they could, they couldn't get in there, but, it isn't gonna get worse, and that's a step in the right direction.
And when we were doing the budget this year, we said, do people even want the tennis courts? Because we talked about this was going to be tens of thousands of dollars to get these to be pristine. And so we only put in money to keep them probably
That's
from
right.
getting worse and hopefully improving a little bit.
Right. And that's what we did.
And here's my thought on it, there was gonna be a little setting, because some of those cracks were,
Yeah.
they were a couple inches wide, and then after they blew them out, they were quite deep, so there was a lot of material that went in there. So this material has now sealed that from, letting any moisture in, and then when you come back and do the top coat, you could come through and lay a course over the top of that
Well, yeah,
before
yeah.
you paint it.
Yeah, if we're gonna put a coating over it, certainly, then
That'll
that will
help.
take care of the problem.
They'll help level it off.
Yeah.
Meaning we probably should decide if we're gonna go, you know, for getting them really repaired well, because then let's not invest the money in painting them this fall. I mean, we're getting to the point of the year that they're not gonna be used a lot this next month or two, probably. I'd hate to paint it and then next May, we decide we're gonna have the whole thing resurfaced. Because the lines are still there, they're not good, but I
Well,
hate
they're
to.
shot, let's face it. To do it right, you're gonna tear them out, put some new ones in there. To do it right. And that's gonna be expensive. And it comes down to, do we use it enough that we wanna put that kind of money into it, or don't we? Other than that, we gotta do what we're doing, just keep patching and surfacing and hang on, you know what I mean? This ain't Littleton out here, nothing, folks, you know.
Well, that's another reason for the survey. Let's wait and see how many people, you know, say that they, one, use them, and two, wanna see it improved, and that'll help us decide what kind of dollars we're gonna request to, and what level of resurfacing we're gonna do.
And possibly we could get what Herb was checking into from what Port City or.
Yeah, I got all that information.
Get some pails of that, and we could, you know, cover over the black lines with
Oh, yeah, it
that
resurface,
material
yeah.
and bring that up even, you know, and that would even it up a little bit before we, you know, go full-blown, you know, paint job.
The money we're spending this year basically is just to get caught up on stuff that should have been done. That's what we're doing. So next year's budget, you know, we can go with more improvements, that's for sure, we're really positive. Right now, we just gotta save what we got and go from there.
Okay. So, water to the second pavilion, timeline, still gonna be this fall though, correct?
Oh, yeah, he said that possibly the first of the week by the middle, though. Weather's held him back a little bit, but I talked to him before I come over here. And he said he'd try for the first of next week, possibly the middle of the week, but he'll be here.
As long as it gets done this year,
Oh,
that's,
yeah, that's not a
I
problem.
think he said it would take him like a day and a half to 2 days
Yeah,
to do it.
he's gonna put her down to 3 feet, so that'll be enough.
And then he needed to get somebody in here to misdig, you know, because misdig only does,
Commercial lines out by the road and commercial stuff.
and then
want to
once they
try to
get
line.
onto more